Okay, now we've just spent about, I don't know, 25, 28 videos just to get us to this point. So the rest of chapter 4, and there's actually a whole lot still to go, is all about data movement. So we've talked about in the previous videos analysis services, DBA tasks, those did data movement. However, not in the way that an ETL process usually will do so, such as an extract, transform, and load. If you think back, we really haven't done a whole lot of ETL just yet. We've done a tour of a bunch of things that were going to be related or would work within the ETL processes, but we haven't done the actual ETL. And it's time. So get your ETL hats on and let's go. Now I'm going to take this first video as an introduction to the tasks and techniques that we will be using throughout the rest of the course, as well as within SSIS that you will that you will perform ETL tasks. And it just occurs to me as I'm saying this, do you know what ETL is? I'm assuming you have watched all of the videos up till now, but that may be an incorrect assumption. So for the benefit of those that maybe are just getting started with this course or have come into this late, didn't see it, or need a reminder, let's just talk about the idea of ETL. So ETL is extract, transform, and load, right? ETL. And the principle, the model of doing so is that we have a data source, such as like a SQL server, for example, and like I might have a .excel file, and I want to get the data out of SQL Server and create an Excel file from it. So I extract the data from SQL. I might perform any number of transformations, such as taking two columns and making them one, taking one column and splitting it into three, normalizing data. I could do all kinds of different things, garbage data work, data quality work, data scrubbing, and then I simply load it into the destination. Now, there's a lot more to this whole idea of ETL. We've got maybe prep work. We've got a lot of things to go with. But this is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I say data movement. You are taking data from Oracle, for example. So maybe I've got an Oracle database and I need to load that to a text file. Or I need to go from SQL Server to Oracle. Any number of different connections. Okay, put in whatever source and destination you want: DB2, MySQL, text files, Access, whatever you want to think of, some proprietary formats. Okay, as long as we can get an OLE DB connection into it, we can get it. Now, back over here. So what can we do inside of integration services with respect to ETL and with respect to data movement? Well, let me show you. I'm going to create a new package. And just really for the purpose of this video, to show you what over here is on the control flow items, I want to highlight the tasks that we can use to move data and to perform ETL. Now, the number one task we're going to be working with is, and I've said it a couple of times here in the course, it's the data flow task. So the data flow task is the foundation of SSIS. You will probably have more tasks with data flow tasks in SSIS than any other single task. The only one that may rival that would be the execute SQL task. So this is your common ETL, so your most common ETL task. When you deal with a data flow, you have a source, you have a transformation, and then you have a destination. And I can have multiple sources, multiple transformations, multiple destinations as well. So we're going to go through plenty on the data flow task. You will be very comfortable with that by the end of this course. So the data flow task, number one. Now, coming back over here, let's take a look at the bulk insert task. So the bulk insert task, another piece of the ETL process. However, it's specific. A bulk insert task takes rows in a text file. They could be a .dat, .csv, .txt, no extension, and loads them into an existing SQL Server table. So we're not dealing with Microsoft Access or Excel or Oracle like we were in the data flow task or had the option to do in the data flow task. We are specifically talking about rows in a text file. Okay, so you have rows in a text file, you're going to load them into a SQL Server table. Now the question is, can the data flow do that? Absolutely. Absolutely, you can do it in the data flow. And many times, to avoid the hassle of the bulk insert task, I will do it in a data flow task. And you will see the hassle in the next video. I'm going to break it down and show you when to use each and the difference and how cumbersome that it can be to learn the bulk insert task. So right now we've done the bulk of your data movement tasks. This is generally speaking what you're going to work with, either a data flow or if you're going to SQL Server from a text file, a bulk insert. A couple of other ones though. One of those will be the execute SQL task. If you watch the video on the execute SQL task, just that overview video, then we talked about how it can execute any DML/DDL. So you can do any insert statements. The execute SQL task can go against Oracle, Excel, Access, Microsoft SQL Server, DB2, MySQL. So you can hook up to a lot of different locations. So it's a very, very handy tool. Now the final one that I'm really going to mention here is the script task. So the script task probably requires, I think, the most knowledge to perform, because if you're dealing with data flow, the execute SQL or bulk insert, these are all SQL based. So you don't even have to know SQL in the data flow task. You can just take a whole table, dump it out to a text file, for example. Here you don't have to know any SQL at all. Here, well, you got to know SQL. But with the script task, generally you're going to need to know both either a .NET language. So let me just pull this up and let's kind of talk about it. Sorry about that. So you're going to use a .NET language such as C# or Visual Basic. And inside that, you're going to have to know some sort of a SQL language. So in the script task, you will use C# or Visual Basic to connect to a data source like a SQL Server or an Excel spreadsheet. Then you're going to issue a SQL statement that returns values or inserts rows or executes a stored procedure. So you have to know both the SQL language that you're going to be connecting to. Like if you were connecting to Oracle, you need to know how to issue PLSQL statements, and you need to know how to do so in C# and Visual Basic. So not too difficult. When we get to chapter 7, we're going to show you how, or I'll show you in chapter 7 how to load data using the script task. The execute SQL task, when we get to chapter 5, we're going to detail that. So in this chapter, bye-bye, we're going to focus on the bulk insert and the data flow task. So first up, next video, let's jump in and take a look at the bulk insert task.